everyone is doing okay. I hope everyone is doing well. Just to give you a very quick introduction, this is Cbor again. I'm with the Office of Technology Solutions in OCFO. I am one of the long-term customer support staff that I have worked with you and support you in many different systems. If you know me, my current responsibility right now is mainly Cbor. I'll be working with you today to do a quick training on the introduction to DCN tracking universe today. And I also would like to introduce the Cbor team who are with me in this training session today. They're going to be here to assist the training, and they will provide the answer to your question if you may have. So if you have questions, you can always post question into the chat box, chat number 4. So before I begin, I just want to let you know that I posted I don't know, maybe it disappeared in our gallery. I thought I posted a couple files, one for the presentation and one for the training session, training exercise. Vinny, is there a way you can put it back, Vinny, so people can download the training materials? I thought I posted them earlier, but I see them disappear now. Okay, so I'm going to introduce my Cbor team again. I have Valerie Love, Tim Doss, Vinny Kaminini, Punita Kanan, and Eswar. We also have Chris Tilly, who is out of the office today. Again, my team will be in this training room to assist you and will provide provide the answer to your questions. All right. So when you sign up for the training, you may be aware that this training, we ask that you have a Cbor user account. The reason is that you need to log into Cbor to do the exercise with me later on this afternoon. So we just want to have like some kind of activity with you. I allow you to do the training exercise with me. We have a small simple training exercise at the end. But if you don't have a Cbor account and you already joined the session with me, and that's okay, you can participate in the presentation, but you won't be able to do the exercise. However, you can check with me, or I can post a link to the chat and for you to apply for a Cbor account if you don't have one. You can always, anyone can go back and do your own exercise. Like I say, we'll try to see if we can repost the training materials in this training session for you to download. The training materials also available from the registration website. Okay. If you download the training material, there are 2 different documents. One is PowerPoint, the PowerPoint presentation, which is one you're seeing right now on my screen. And the exercise, we have the exercise in the PDF format, and we're going to use that exercise to do the Cbor training later on this afternoon. So let's get started. This is a hands-on training. So as I mentioned, at the end of the presentation, we will be doing a small exercise. I hope that exercise will be useful for you. So will make you become more familiar with Cbor. And then at the end, if we have some time after the training, we can hang around and see if you have any questions, you can post to the chat, and we will see if we can answer the question for you. If for some reason we don't have answer for you today, we will take your question and we'll get back to you after the training, in a few days later. So again, today we're doing training on the DCN tracking universe. All right, so let's Okay. So the DCN tracking universe, no doubt about it, no doubt is one of the most popular universes in Cbor. We have many Cbor users use this universe every day, and we are very busy to support everyone. This particular universe is very popular. The DCN tracking universe has been with us for a long time, and I have to say that this is one of the oldest universes that we have, and it has been changed and enhanced a lot of times, and we are continue to make changes to this universe as we are speaking right now. So a lot of you already contributed to the enhancement. A lot of you work with us and gave us your idea, and we enhanced this universe during the years. And you also reported to us if you find defects and anything wrong with the universe, and we fix those defects, and thank you for that. From time to time, if you find any issue with this universe, please continue to report to the help desk so we can make changes to improve the integrity of the universe. Okay. All right. So also, if you would like to make additional change, or if you need additional change, or if you want to enhance the universe, please continue to do so. Just contact the help desk, open ticket for us, and we will work with you to make changes to this universe. Okay, so if we have any FCOs in this training, I think this universe is very helpful for you. This is a place for you to come and create your own reports, get the report using the data out of Compass Financial. Data we are using is from the purchasing module in Compass. So if you need to pull the data out of Compass, this is the DCN tracking. This is the universe you want to use. This universe, it has all the commitments, obligations, and expenditures information. I think you can use this to build your reports, monitor or track your funding information for your office. Even if you are not an FCO, this is also a very good universe for you to know in case you need to use this, because like I said, this universe is like a one-stop shop for tracking the spending for your office. So before we discuss more details on the DCN tracking universe, I would like to take a few minutes to review some of the basic information about the Cbor or business objects, so we can give an overview to people that are not familiar with Cbor right now. So for many people that are using Cbor for a long time, the overview slides that I'm about to go over with you, these slides will help refresh your memory, about what this universe is about. So for people that had Cbor training with me last week, or with Chris, Tilly, and Valerie a couple of weeks ago, you probably will notice that we are doing Cbor universe review in each training class. So this will be a repeating information for you if you see the next few slides. I believe, to understand the universe in general is kind of important. Again, if you have any question, just post your question in the chat room, and we can discuss. I think the question probably will help us to answer your question, and maybe other people may have similar questions they can understand. So this is like a discussion session, if you will. So let me move forward a little bit. So let's quickly, what is Cbor? So in case anyone doesn't know what Cbor is. So Cbor stands for Compass Business Objects Reporting. That's the name, that's the official name of the reporting tool that we use. So basically, EPA, OCFO would purchase the business object reporting license from the company called SAP. So we bought the licensing, to cover for all the Cbor users. So your office basically don't have to pay a thing. So we have the license to cover for all the Cbor users at this time. So okay, I'm going to move to the slide and just to show you a few items that we already covered in the last training, but I'm going to review it again. So let me go right into the next page. This is these three main objectives that we want you to get out from this training. So one of the main objectives for this training is to help you, and especially people that are new to Cbor, to become familiar with Compass Business Object Universe. So we want if you are new, we want you to become familiar with Cbor, and also for people that are working with Compass financial system, especially the FCOs. I try to emphasize that they've been working with Compass Financial for a long time, and we want them to recognize the data representation in both Compass documents and the data elements or the objects from Cbor. So the idea is hopefully, after the training, you will be able to go out and create an ad hoc report yourself from Cbor. And I would really want you to go out and try DCN tracking universe. It's very good universe to use. If you already have a Cbor account, you can try. Like I say, if you don't have one, just let me know. You can always submit a request and apply for a Cbor. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a small exercise in this training to provide everyone to the training today together. So let me go to the next page. Okay, so basically, we just want to let you know that we build a lot of Cbor universes, and we compose a lot of reports, a lot of standard reports in Cbor. And we take the data from different data sources and make them available to everyone to use. It's kind of like a one-stop shop right from Cbor. So if you have a Cbor account, you can go out to Cbor and pull reports using if you want to look for data for Compass Financial, People Plus, payroll, or the contract payment systems, or other mixed financial systems. So Cbor has these data available for you to use. And at the same time, we develop a number of standard reports ready for you to use. So these reports are available to every.
Chi, we can't see your screen. Chi, share your screen, please.
I'm still in. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I always share. Sorry about that. I just keep talking. Oh boy, where are we? I'm sorry, everybody. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
I don't know what happened.
I think the network. I don't think it's you. I think it's the network, Chi. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was on page 3. If you have a presentation, I'll read the page number for you in case I missed my screen again. So I think we were at page 3, and like I say, we already built a lot of universe and reports available for all the Cbor users, and we continue to develop new standard reports. So as an example, if you need a new standard report, contact us. We can build a report and make it available to the whole Cbor community to use. There is a process you have to go through. We call it like a chain request process. You have to go submit a ticket, and then we will work with you, to collect your requirements to see if you want how you want your reports to be built and things like that. And if you want to discuss how the process works, we can have a discussion with you in a separate meeting. But I just want the main thing I want to let you know that we are available to build new reports anytime if you need one. We can build one right from the DCN tracking universe, DCN tracking universe for you. Like I say, you have to go to the chain request process, which is I think a lot of people already are familiar with that process. So as many of you may know, Cbor has like over 100 of standard reports available. And right now we have about 18 or so universes available for you to create ad hoc reports from. And as I mentioned earlier, these universes are getting data from different data sources, but the main data source is Compass Financial and Cbor Plus. Those are the two big data sources. We will take a look at the next slide to see what kind of data source and what kind of universe we have available, which is on slide 4. I'm on slide 4 right now, and this slide has a list of universe available right now in Cbor. If you look at we have two columns. The first column is a universe name, and the second column is the column on the right-hand side. This is just a quick description just to let you know what are these universes about. All of the universe from the list you are seeing right now, the universes are using data from Compass Financial. The one we are trying to focus today is the DCN tracking. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay. We also have a payroll account management. This is this has payroll data. So if you are interested, one thing I want to mention about this universe is this is a restricted universe. If you will have to have you will need to have like additional access in order to pull the data out of this universe. So this universe and the Cbor Plus, which is the next slide, slide 5. I'll show you the next slide, which has additional universes. The majority from this list of universe, this list of universes has all of the universes are not using Cbor. I'm sorry, they're not using Compass data.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Chi, I'm sorry to keep breaking in, but your screen just dropped again. You're not sharing. And then also the sound is going in and out. So can you move a little bit closer to the microphone? And I hope I don't have to say anything else. Okay, I do not see what you're sharing.
Something wrong with the wrong with the Adobe Connect. This keeps pop up right here.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. I'm gonna put myself back on mute.
Okay. Let me do listen only. Okay.
Can you get closer to the mic though?
Yes. Let me do this. Okay. One more time, everybody. Can you see my screen right now? Okay. I see that. Yes. On the chat room. I'm sorry about this technical issue. Sometimes I just keep reading on my screen. I forgot to see what's behind my screen. What happened? I have a presentation called my Adobe Connect on the back end, so I don't know whether I'm sharing or not. I thought I shared the whole time. But anyhow, I was at if you follow me using the PowerPoint presentation, I'm at page number 4. To review the list of available universes in Cbor right now, and we already mentioned about today we are focusing on the DCN tracking universe number 4 from the list here. And before I go to the next slide, I want to mention that the payroll account management, the universe at the bottom of the list, this universe is a restricted universe. So you will need to have additional access in order to pull the data out of this universe. So the way it works is if you submit a request form, there is a box actually to enter the 8 digits HR code on the box. On the form. So to tell us, what kind of access you need to have. So you need to enter the correct 8 digits HR code on the access form in order for. What happened is it just I don't know what happens, Valerie.
You're back now. We can see you.
Yeah, but I just saw it kicks me out,
Yes. It's probably network issues, but we can see your screen now. And you are on slide number 4.
Okay, I'll go to slide number 4. Okay, thank you, Valerie. I'll go to slide number 5 right here. This is additional universe available for you. The only universe I want to highlight is the People Plus universe. This is also a restricted universe. Oh my God, what happened? Okay, the People Plus universe is also a restricted universe. So just like the payroll account management universe, you need additional access form submitted in order to pull the data from this universe. So as you can see, the other universe are pulling data from different data sources like CPS, which is the contract payment system, IMS and the FIMVIA, the mass. This will be consolidated in a few months. You will see some changes in the coming months, but when the time comes, we will send an update to everyone. And the last 2 universe at the bottom, the SPIS is the one that you use your purchase car, the small purchase when you order in, merchandise using purchase car or whatever. It has the small purchase data. The last universe is the working capital universe, which I don't see a lot of people are using. But I'll go to the next slide, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm sorry. All right, so today, and we are focusing on this tracking. All right, so let's do an overview of the Cbor real quick. I'm on slide number 7. All right, so what is a universe? So basically, a universe is it's simply a layer between the backend data source and the user. So just to give you a very quick overview, if you look at the graphic, the picture on the right-hand side, so we have data source stored in the backend table. They are Oracle tables. So as a user standpoint, you really don't need to know the tables or the logic used behind the tables or how they are connected. You really don't know a lot of technical detail. Developers or the programmers, they already did all the work for you, all the complicated joining tables and logic and things like that on the back end. The only thing visible to you is when you go to Cbor, the this picture right here, this looks like a folder structure. This is a universe. This is what you will see when you log into business objects. Okay, so these are the table on the back end. These are really a data source. The data source. You will not be able to see the table on the back end. So that's the beauty of the universe, because like I said, the developers is responsible to develop and compose everything for you ready. So when you create a report oh my God, I just kick me out and battery. I think I lost Adobe Connect right now.
You did. You lost, the screen lost us again. You can share again.
Hang on, I think I have a second. Let me check. Must be the network something.
We do the best we can do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, I will try this one right here. Can you see my screen, Valerie? I'm using a different screen right now.
Yes.
Okay.
I can.
Hopefully this one works. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, so where are we? We are on page 7. I try to explain a little bit about the universe. So if you can see the folder structure at the bottom, that's really a universe. So like I say, you really don't need anything. You don't need to learn how to program, how to write a script like using like a SQL language to create your script to pull the data. Basically, if you use business object or Cbor, you just drag and drop. You just drag and drop these objects from the universe and put on your report and pull the data. So that's a nice thing about the universe. So again, like I said, the image that look like a tree structure below, that is an example of the universe. All right. So I just want to give you a little bit more information. So imagine if you look at the top windows up here, the top boxes up here. Just imagine these are the data warehouse that we are using in Cbor every day. Imagine this is like a CDW database, the CDW data warehouse. The table representing data source, data from Compass, People Plus, or payroll. So again, like I say, the folder structure at the bottom here, these are the universe, and we will discuss the components of the universe in the next slide. By the way, I want to make sure we are clear that Cbor doesn't contain any data. Cbor only builds with the universe that link the data source in the backend table, and the universe is designed with classes and objects that representing the data elements behind backend. So, for example, when you select an object from Cbor universe to build your query, then when you run query, so basically Cbor will go into the table in CW and bring the data and display the output for you in Cbor. So I just want to give you a small information clips. So I go to the next page, page 8. This is just a very quick overview of the universe, the business object universe. So we have three. What does the universe contain? So the universe contains classes, objects, and the predefined query filters. So just think about the class. It's just like a table. It's like it provides the structure for the layout of the universe. Basically, the information with the same category are grouped together from different sources to provide a class. In a way, the idea is to group all the related information into a class. Sometimes we call a class as a folder. And we use these two terms many times in different cases. Sometimes people call these class, and some people call these folder. So depends on who you talk to, but I think both terms are acceptable. So for example, if you look at the slide here, the program information class, you can see the program information class. The objects inside the class are related to the program information. So the objects are npm names, and program names. They are related to the program information. So same thing if you expand the object class folder, you will see other data elements inside the object class folder with the associated information with the same data category as the object class folder. All right, so objects are on the hand. Objects are representing the data column from the table in the backend data source. So when you create a report, you select the object from a class, or sometimes we call them columns. These are classes. They very much they are representing the data elements from the table that contain the real data. These are just the objects, but really there's no data behind these objects. You have to run the report in order to pull the data out of the data source to display the data on the report. So in Cbor, we try to design the object names using the similar data field name behind, especially in Compass Financial. So for DCN tracking or purchasing universe, that took with me a couple weeks ago, last week, I'm sorry. You look at the names we use for our objects, they are very much the same data elements you use in Compass Financial. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the predefined query filter. The predefined filter are created to help you to bring in the build. I'm sorry, let me repeat again. The predefined filter, we have some universe, we have predefined filter built in the universe. The idea is to help you to narrow down your report, so you will bring less data, bring in the data you need. So the goal, we don't want everyone to go in and bring in a lot of data for your report, and that would take a lot of system resource and can reduce the system performance for us. And even though we have a limit setup for you in Cbor, when you try to run a big query, you probably will not get any data out of it because we already have a time limit. But it still impacts the performance, right? Because what happened, it does try to go into the server and try to pull the data, so it does take some time. So the filters is very useful in this case. And it helps you to reduce your query, but also narrow down your query and bring exact data you need. Like I say, not all the universe have predefined query filters. We have a few. I think this one has the NPM predefined filters, but we also recommend that when you create a report, you should include a filter for your report. So it will help to narrow down your query and bring in the data that you need, because if everybody tries to query a lot of data at the same time, and that's not good. Okay, let me go to the next slide. So I'm going to talk a little bit about there are three types of objects in a universe: a dimension, a detail, and a measure. So the dimension and the detail are basically they are just text-based that mainly you use to do data analysis. Some of the examples of the dimensions, the objects are document number, document type, or organization. The detail, on the other hand, the detail is always attached to a dimension. It's like a text-based. Also, it's a text-based type, and it normally, like I mentioned, it's associated with the dimension object. It's there to help give you additional information to your dimension. let me see. So just to give you an example, so let's say if you have an employee dimension, that's employee ID, let's say employee name is a dimension. The address, phone number, or the email address, those are the details for the dimension, for the user dimension. So there's another type of objects, which is a measure. The measure is basically something you can use for calculation. So something represent number or values that you can use for calculation, basically. So if you see the example right here on the slide, we have a couple examples. Commitment amounts and obligation amount. They are dimension. I'm sorry, they are measure objects. Let me go to the next slide, slide 10.
Hey, Chi.
So
before you go to the next slide, I'm sorry for interrupting, but you're coming across, I understand, really the sound quality on the speakers is not good. I'm going to post the number to the conference call for folks if they would like to call in, but I do ask that you please mute your computer speaker up top where it says audio, and you see that little computer speaker. Please mute that speaker, otherwise we'll get feedback and no one will be able to hear a thing. Okay, so please mute your speakers. I'm going to post that telephone number so that you can call in. She's going to pause for about 30 seconds, have a cup of water while you guys call in. Okay, Chief, take about 30 seconds. All right, thanks.
Let me see if I can, I need to be able to pick up Cbor real quick. Just give me 1 minute. At the same time, if you have questions, you can post your question in the chat right now. Hopefully, Wendy or Punita or Tim can assist you with your questions. I'm sorry with the interruption today. I try to get back onto my other screen so I can show you some example of the university.
That's okay, Chief. You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Oh my God. While I was waiting for everyone to use the phone to call in, I thought I saw a question in the chat. Say, a question from Claudia Hober. She asked, will this training be offered again? If you need the same training, email us. We'll see how many people will need this training. We can see we can open another session, not the coming weeks, but maybe down the road, some next month or so. But also, I don't think we recorded this session today, right, Valerie? Did we recording? Oh, I see that the session is recording. You can always go back and we post the recorded session on the OCFO website. I'm sorry, the SharePoint site. You can go back and listen. Again, I'm sorry for the interruption today because of the network issue I have with my laptop, probably. Okay, so let me go back to my slide right here. I'm at slide 10. And this is where we are about to discuss what is the DCN tracking universe is about. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, DCN tracking universe is one of the most popular universe that we have in Cbor. The DCN tracking is built with I have to say this on the back end, on the technical side. It's kind of complicated, the structure that we use, but for the Cbor user like you really don't need to worry about the technical behind or how it was designed. I just want to give you some information, but it's very user friendly to use. we designed this universe to put all the financial information related to a financial, especially the spending documents that you use in Compass. This universe will provide you all information in one single universe. So if you took my purchasing universe last week, you know, you have to go into different class like commitment class, obligation class or payment class to get the data out of it. This universe is everything in one shop. So it's very, very powerful universe, you know, to use. You can use this DCN tracking universe to create a report to display the spending chain documents in one place. So like I say, you know, you can get commitments, information, obligation, and payments on the same query. That's the nice thing about the DCN tracking universe. Is that you need to know, all you need to know is just DCN number, and you can look up that information in Cbor. I think there's a there are a couple cases you can try. You can either use the 6 digits or the 11 digits DCN numbers. We will go over the sum up example so you see. It's a useful universe. That's one I have to say. I just want you to make a note. This DCN tracking, you can use this universe to retrieve the financial data way back to year 2000. That's where we, if a lot of you remember, if you work with Compass for a long time, you remember when we upgrade Compass from old system, the old IFMS system, we upgrade that system way back to 2011. So at that time, we only brought in only the open obligation into Compass. Plus, we brought in back 10 years of data, you know, with the closed obligation. So, you know, give or take, I think the data in DCN tracking, you can go back to year 2000. That's what I believe, because I based on the year we migrated, and then I plus 10 more years back. So that is this. I think 1 year of data is a lot of data, but if you can go back to year 2000, you talk about 20 years of data, it's a lot of data. So this is just a note for you, just in case you're interested to know. Again, if you look at the screen, so the DCN tracking, one-stop shop, you can look up request order. Request is very much commitments, right? So if you are using Compass, the request is mainly the RQ or the RF. No RF, the RQ or RE documents. The orders are probably the MO or ME documents, majorities, and there are other types too. Probably also under the orders, under the obligations information, and we also had the payments information, you know, the payment where you pay the invoice, and we recorded these entries into Compass. They are in here. I will go to more detail in the next slide, but I just want to give you a very quick overview of the DCN tracking. So in one stop, you can go in here, pull all of these documents in one query. Let's say if you took my purchase class last week, it was a little bit different, but we're using the same data source. So let me go to the next slide. So this is the structure of the DCN tracking universe. It's very simple. Okay, so we have, if you look at the graphic on the right-hand side here, we have one man, the third folder now, the fund control DCN tracking. This is the only folder or class that has transaction documents. The rest are reference data. I cannot use my pen today to show you, but for some reason, but anyway, if you look the first two folders and all the folder after the fund control descent tracking, they are reference data. So if you, in case you want to know what reference data are data that's very much static. They are not changed very often, right? So let's say account code, accounting code, object class, those data are pretty much static. You create one time and then you use for many years. Unlike the transaction data normally has document number, trans code, and dollar amounts and everything. So, like I mentioned, the descent tracking really only one folder. That's transaction data, the funds control, descent tracking. That's the only folder you have transaction data. The rest are all reference data. That will make it very simple for you. So if you use the purchasing universe, it has several rules. Like if you want to combine data, you have to remember what folder you can combine. Descent tracking universe doesn't have that rule. So basically, the fund control, descent tracking, you can combine any data from any of these folders, any reference data. So there are no limit, no restrictions inside the descent tracking universe. So that's how we organize the descent tracking. So inside the descent tracking, we also have 3 sub-classes. We will go through the detail. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share my other screen to show you the actual Cbor class, so you will get an idea. If you don't mind, let me stop this screen real quick. I'll bring up Compass. I'm sorry, I'll bring up Cbor, and it's hard for me to show on the PowerPoint. If I go to Cbor, I'll show you. I think it's easier for me. Okay, so let me go to Cbor real quick. Oh man, it's not working from there. It's not working, Valerie. Also, I don't think you can see my screen, right, Valerie?
I do not. I see Google.
Oh man.
I see Google on your screen.
Punita, Vinny, can you bring up Cbor from your screen,
Hey,
Punita, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to show people some example of the folder we have in the descent tracking in the actual Cbor. I'm very frustrated with this network thing.
Yeah, I will bring the Cbor.
Hey, Vinny.
H, do you hear me?
It's hard to hear you, Punita, but if you open, I'll walk people through. It looks like Punita try to share her screen right here. Go to Cbor, Punita.
Want me to share my screen?
Hey, Chi, this is just my suggestion.
Yes.
We're having all kinds of technical difficulties. Sometimes you just have to say, I apologize. I tried to do what I can do. I think you might want to end this presentation. Tell us whatever else you need to tell us, but this is not going good. Okay.
I hate to hang people up because we are in the middle of the training. Yes, boy, also that right now. It's nothing comes up at all for me. Uh, I try to log in to Cbor myself. It doesn't come up. I apologize for this. You know what? Let me go to the PowerPoint. So at least I can finish my presentation. Maybe I have to set up a separate training some in different days so I can show some example. I apologize really. But, I don't know what else I can do. But let me finish my PowerPoint. Punita, let me share my screen, Punita, if you don't mind, Punita. If you can stop sharing your screen, Punita. I want to finish my PowerPoint. We can go back and do the exercise later. I'm very frustrated with the with the network thing. Hey, Punita, can you stop sharing your screen, Punita? Okay, I think I'm sharing my screen or not. I want to finish my presentation. Again, I apologize. You can always go back and do the exercise, or I will talk to my management to see if we can reschedule this training because we just had so many different issues with the network today. But if you see my screen, I'm still at page 11. I try to finish my PowerPoint. Let me see if can you still see my screen, right? Okay, so no. Okay, all right. I just want to finish up my PowerPoint and then we finish. I hate to, end the session in the middle of the training. Okay, I just reshare my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, so we were at the page 11. We were talking about the transient class, funds control descent tracking, and the rest are these very much reference data. So like I say, we don't have a restriction for this particular universe. You can pull the data out of the descent tracking and combine with the reference data, any of this data from any of these objects, classes. Let me go to the next page. So let's look. This is really I want to go to the Cbor to show you how the objects look like, but I just could not get to Cbor right now. The funds control descent tracking class. That's the main class that has all the transactions. So I just cannot show you in Cbor, but if you scroll down, if you are in Cbor, you can scroll down and you can see additional objects inside this class. You can drag and drop these objects into your report and then combine with the other reference data like the appropriation or the account number or the funds and other class at the bottom of these reference data. So you can combine them and run and create your report. So if you look at the DCN, like I say, we have 3 subclasses: the commitment details, the commitment display only objects, and the obligation details. Just want to make one note right here. If you create your report, you can create your filters, and which we recommended you to use. But just keep in mind, if you pull any objects out of the commitment display only objects, these objects cannot be used to create filter. Just make a note for this. Same thing with the travel details folder, subfolder. The objects inside this folder just for you to display the information, but you cannot use the object to create a filter. So just make two notes. Okay. Let me go to the next page. Another subfolder, the funds control days. This is where you want to pull all the objects that related to days, like last action day, acceptance day, or budget fiscal year, anything related to days. You can go to the fund control days, and all the measures, like dollar amounts, like obligation amount, commitment amounts, or expenditure amount, or the amount related to the DCN tracking, they are under the funds control amount subclass right here, or subfolder. So we have a note right here. So this DCN tracking universe is not like the purchasing universe. The purchasing universe, you can bring in the data almost like real-time data. The DCN tracking universe, the data, when you bring it in, it's almost like a 1 day old, because on the back end, like I mentioned earlier, the technical detail, the structure for the tables behind is kind of complicated. The data we combine in different data sources, different tables. We bring in the data from Compass at night, and then there's a program that runs to transform the data into a table that the DCN tracking universe will use, and that takes a lot of time to run. So normally when you create a report using the DCN tracking universe, it's always a day or a little bit older. Just to make you just keep in mind, don't expect you see the real-time, almost real-time data like the purchasing data universe. I think a lot of SEO is aware of this. Okay, the next two slides we just cover the reference data. These are reference data. If you are working with Compass Financial, you should be familiar with these data elements or objects. So these are all the class. You can go into each of these class. I'm sorry I cannot show you inside Cbor, but if you expand each of these class, you will see the data elements, and they are grouped together. And if you, for example, if you open the RPL information, you will see RPL code and RPO name and some of the row of fields. So each of these classes are reference data for account. These are just like an accounting string. Okay, if you use accounting string for your document, these the class you can go in and find the information. We broke them into separate folders to make it easy, but because actually behind the scene company, each of these class are a separate table anyway. These are different reference table in Compass. Just think about this way. So we organize these folders very much the same structure that Compass is using. So whenever the budget office add a new RPA or add a new object class, they should be available in these folders for you to use. Again, like I say, if you are using Cbor right now, if you log in Cbor, you can go in and expand them out and just to look up to see what kind of objects are available inside these folders. We also have, I'll go to the next page. I'm sorry. The vendor information. The vendor information is another reference data. The vendor information normally, it has a lot of data. It contains data from the vendor that you purchase the merchandise from. So you can name them like IBM, SAP, everything, anything, even though Amazon, all the names are in here. So if you want to bring in some vendor data for your report, you can combine the vendor data for your report for the DCN funds control class. You can combine this data. Like I said, there is no restrictions. The vendor table also has travel-related documents information. So the vendor code, like your employee ID, my employee ID is also stored in this table right here, the vendor table. We call it vendor information class, but actually it's a table behind the scene, okay, behind Compass. So it's called vendor table. Not everybody has access directly to the vendor table. Only the finance centers. We have 2 to 3 finance centers that manage the vendor data. And like I say, employees data also stores in here. I'm talking about employee data like your name, your employee ID, your address, and should be in this table. We don't have those data elements in Cbor, but they are available. We only bring in limited objects from the warehouse, make it available. The idea is so you can build a report and combine the vendor data, the vendor that you deal with your purchasing documents, right? So, and then we have another subfolder for stay information. If you open it, it's just pretty much like like a acronyms of the 2-digit stay and the stay names. So reference data basically. I think this is the only two big reference classes, the accounting dimension and the vendor information. Other than that, I think this is very much about it for the DCN tracking. This page, it shows you all the standard reports that we have available. The standard reports that are using the DCN tracking universe available for everybody. So if you go to Cbor, you have to go to different locations. Oh my God, what's happening? So if you can see my screen, the title that I highlight, these are the location of the folders where you can find the report. All of these things, all of these bullets, these are standard reports available in Cbor right now. The title that I highlighted, these are the locations. These locations under if you go to Cbor, it's under public, Compass, and these are the subfolders under the Compass folder. So if you are in Cbor right now, you can drill down to the public folders, Compass, and these are the subfolders, and you can find these are the standard reports available for you to use. You can use them as if one of these reports are useful for you, you can bring them in and use them. But let's say if you like the Hurricane Sandy status report, you can copy this report and put in your library, and then you can change the parameters, or you can, let's say you change the filter, you want to bring in your own data only, let's say RPIO 01 for region 1, or the filter to put in any particular codes or whatever, and save it for your own report, so you can use it. The report's already built for you. We also formatted with a very particular format report with the headers and DPA logo and everything. So you can try, bring the report into your Cbor and test it out, and change the condition or the filters, or bring in more columns or remove the columns you don't need, and save it as your personal report. You can share that report with your co-workers, or you can even schedule the report and have it run every Monday or every month. You can have the report, schedule it, and then have it sent to your supervisor in her or his Outlook email in a PDF format or in Excel format. You can talk more about scheduling in another tab form because today I don't have access to Cbor, but those are the options that's available in Cbor. But again, this list contains all the standard reports that using the DCN tracking universe. Check them out in Cbor if you have a chance. The next page is just the exercise, and I'm very disappointed that I cannot do the exercise with everyone today. I really like to show you the exercise, how the Cbor is created, but I have to stop right here. Like I said, I have to go back and talk to my management to see how we can either reschedule or have a different session or something to make up for this training. So if you're still with me, thank you very much. And if you have any question, you can post the question in the chat here and see if we can answer your questions. Okay, thank you everyone. Like I say, if you have additional question, just send me the question. If you, like I say, I need to go back and talk to my management to see if we can reschedule this training session because I'm very disappointed with the network today. All right. Okay, I will stay on the online for another 10 minutes. If you have questions, please post in the chat number 4. In the next, let's say 3:20, I will turn off Adobe Connect and we close for the day. And thank you everybody for coming to the training today. And I hope you have a good day and stay safe, everyone.